22,000. Just take a second and actually think about that number. 22,000 words. I mean, that is literally the length of a short novel. It's hours and hours of continuous speaking. And, incredibly, 22,000 is the staggering targeted word count for a single, seamlessly generated script using AI.
Welcome! I am absolutely pumped to guide you through today's explainer, so let's just dive right in. Because what we're looking at today is a literal masterclass in prompt engineering. We are going to completely deconstruct a highly complex mega prompt. This is a prompt specifically engineered to force an AI into writing a complete 2-hour financial masterclass for a channel called Personal Finance and Investing. And we're going to see exactly how this is done, step by step.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll be covering 1. The Mega Prompt Blueprint. 2. Setting the expert persona. 3. Structuring the 2-hour masterclass. 4. The perfect chapter formula. And 5. Beating AI length limits.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the Mega Prompt Blueprint.
Look at how insanely strict these baseline requirements are. The user isn't just saying, hey, write me a script. No way. The core output goals we pulled from our source demand it be 100% original, copyright-free, SEO optimized, and strictly between 18,000 and 22,000 words. So why does this matter? Well, establishing these rigid rules right out of the gate ensures the AI doesn't get lazy, right? It doesn't hallucinate or just spit out endless fluff. It sets this incredibly high bar for quality before a single word of content is even drafted.
Moving right along to Section 2, setting the expert persona.
Okay, so how do you make sure this massive script doesn't just sound like a monotonous robot reading a phone book? You do it by stacking identities. Read this exact quote from the prompt with me. Act as a world-class financial educator, best-selling author, YouTube scriptwriter, investment expert, and storytelling master. This is brilliant. It perfectly illustrates a core tenet of advanced prompt engineering. By stacking these highly specific identities, the prompt forces the AI to adopt a deeply specialized, multidisciplinary mindset. It's not just an expert on money anymore. It knows how to tell a story, it understands audience retention, and it carries the real weight and authority of a best-selling author.
But honestly, here is where the pure genius kicks in. Despite commanding the AI to be this world-class expert, the prompt simultaneously restricts the tone. It explicitly requires simple English so beginners can easily understand, combined with conversational storytelling, all while maintaining a premium masterclass feel. It forces the AI to take complex financial concepts and translate them into everyday language without losing that premium authority. Basically, it prevents it from sounding like a dry college textbook that's going to put you to sleep in 5 minutes flat.
That brings us to Section 3, structuring the 2-hour masterclass.
Now, once you have your persona locked in, how do you logically organize 2 full hours of talking? Well, the macro structure starts with a powerful 60-second hook, flows smoothly into an intro, and then expands into 25 to 30 detailed chapters. But notice the pacing strategy here. Recaps every 5 chapters. The creator of this prompt knows that viewer retention is literally everything. By forcing the AI to pause and summarize, they are actively resetting the viewer's attention span. Finally, it wraps up with a complete summary, final motivation, and a strong call to action. It's basically the perfect architectural blueprint for long-form retention.
And the wild part is, it doesn't just stop at the spoken words. This prompt demands a full-blown production blueprint. The AI is explicitly instructed to include curiosity hooks every few minutes, B-roll suggestions, animations, charts, stock footage, and on-screen text, along with smooth transitions between chapters. The AI isn't just writing the dialogue, you guys, it's acting as the invisible director. It's mapping out the entire visual flow to make sure the viewer stays glued to the screen for the whole 2 hours. Let's dive into Section 4, the perfect chapter formula. Okay, so the prompt dictates that all 25 to 30 chapters must follow this exact 7-step anatomy. Let's walk through it together. 1. A beginner-friendly explanation. 2. A real-life example to ground it. 3. A case study for deeper proof. 4. Common mistakes to avoid. 5. Practical action steps you can take immediately. 6. Expert tips. And finally, 7. A key takeaway. By forcing the AI to include every single one of these elements in every single chapter, the prompt guarantees a dense, super high-value learning experience. There is zero room here for the AI to get lazy, take a coffee break, or just output empty fluff.
And finally, Section 5, beating AI length limits.
All right, now for the ultimate technical challenge. How in the world do you force an AI to write 22,000 words without it summarizing, shortening things, or just straight up crashing? If you've ever used a large language model, you know they have context windows, right? They have output limits. If you just demand 22,000 words in one go, it's either going to give you a quick summary or it's going to abruptly stop halfway through. So how did this prompt engineer actually solve that problem?
They used what we'll call the chunking hack. The prompt specifically instructs the AI like this: start with part 1 only, about 2,000 words. After finishing part 1, stop and wait for my message to continue. Then, the AI writes part 2, and so on. By intentionally pacing the AI and forcing it to pause and wait for a manual trigger, the user guarantees continuous, high-quality output. It bypasses generation limits entirely without ever breaking that expert persona or the macro structure we just talked about.
But listen, chunking alone actually isn't enough, which brings us to these absolutely vital negative constraints. The prompt specifically demands never repeat information, never shorten any chapter. When you force an AI to write in chunks, its natural tendency is to start repeating itself, or worse, to artificially compress the later chapters just to wrap things up quickly. Telling the AI exactly what not to do is just as crucial as telling it what to do. These strict negative boundaries are what keep the script tight, cohesive, and valuable from minute 1 all the way to minute 120.
Which brings us to the ultimate goal, perfectly captured in the source instructions. The final combined script must be suitable for a full 2-hour YouTube video and feel like a complete premium finance course. Every single rule, every constraint, and every structural hack we've explored today is in service of this one single sentence. It's all about transforming standard raw AI text generation into a polished, premium product that provides genuine educational value.
So, I want to leave you with this final thought. We have just deconstructed a blueprint that completely automates a 2-hour educational course. So, if a single well-engineered prompt can build a complete financial masterclass from scratch, what other massive educational resources will you engineer next? Because the structural framework we explored today, it can be applied to almost any topic. The only limit now is the precision of your prompt. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope you found this breakdown as absolutely fascinating as I did.